Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to jump into my 77 Ramcharger. I'm going to show you the complete process on how to transform the dash from this into something like this. Now let's get to it. Now, if you've ever owned one of these 70s Dodge pickups, you know that these dashes do not stand the test of time. They are nice and brittle. And mine is extra crunchy. Now, if you're thinking, Jeremy, that didn't look too bad, let's look at it from a different angle. As you can see here, it is completely rotted underneath that vinyl cover. The last owner just put that vinyl over the dash as well as the dash pad or the glove box. And it's, I guess, a quick fix. Looks decent, but it was really just hiding or masking all the damage and rot from underneath. So we've got some new pieces. New as in, better used ones. So here is the donor dash. Got this from Facebook. Gentleman had a whole yard of Power Wagons. Not in perfect shape, of course, but it's all complete. It's not cracked. Needs some love, which we're going to tackle right now. At least it's there. Also got a new glove box or glove compartment pad. This one as well needs some work. As you can see, it's got a hole there, some cracks on the back end right there, and we're going to take care of all this right now. Now, looking at the donor dash pad, it looks pretty dirty. However, I've already scrubbed this multiple times with a degreaser and cleaning agents. This is just stained age. One of the things you can see here, if I get real close, is the texture is falling off. Just rubbing it with my finger, dust is coming off of it. So obviously it's really old, as all these are, and you can't buy these right now. I don't know of an outfit that remanufactures these dash pads. So the stock units or Craigslist, Facebook, really all you got. So we're gonna coat this bad boy. But before I do that, we're gonna do some preventative maintenance. To make sure this doesn't crack and just completely disintegrate like my factory one did, I'm going to use a combination of some JB Weld plastic epoxy and some fiberglass cloth. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that, fill in these large open areas where the plastic's real thin, lay a nice layer of epoxy, especially this big open piece here, and then I'm also going to come over with an epoxy and just kind of reinforce the mounting tabs here, as the dash insert I'm using is going to be primarily bolted to this plastic insert and not the frame like the factory version did. So we got to make it a little bit stronger. And now it's time for the glove box. Okay, so there are the three areas we've got to address here. There's the puncture right there on top. There's these cracks here in the corner. This is actually indented a little bit right here too, so I think the foam is rotted away a little bit. And then there's one more crack right here. Now, believe it or not, but Bondo is the answer here. Let's start cutting. All right, I'm going to tackle the puncture first. Yeah, this feels a little bit weird, but I am going to actually cut this entire section out. Jeez, if I can do it without it cracking. You know what? I'm going to have to use a heat gun here. Hold on a sec. check that out. Nice and uniform, no cracks, no sharp edges, which is what we want. We want to spread out that area. And it's taking all the way down to the metal frame, all the way through the foam. I'm going to do the same thing on those cracks. Basically, in the same fashion as handling a crack with steel, right? I've got to stop that crack right there. So in steel, I would drill this out, and then that would disperse the pressure on the tip of that crack. So I'm going to do the same thing with this vinyl using my handy dandy push rod. Right. A little hardware. Okay, well, this looks ugly. But there's enough material there, so I'll be able to take it down. I guess let's do the YouTube thing. All right, now is the fun part, the gauges. I actually have a really nice conditioned insert. It's got the usual cracks on all the mounting corners, all the tops too, but I could epoxy over those and no problem. This was my idea. I was going to use this. This is my go-to. But somebody reached out to me on a comment and brought to light some additional products that looked pretty sweet. I figured, why not? I'd give it a shot. So instead of the factory piece, which I'll probably put together and throw on the wall somewhere, this is what I'm doing. This is a sheet metal insert. It's designed to fold in and fit the exact same location. I was able to get this from a gentleman named Corey who owns Dash Werks. The website is DW Gauges, but I'll post his YouTube link in the description of this video. So if you're interested in taking a look at this, he's got a couple other things for the tin grills. I will post that link. You can follow his YouTube channel to connect with him. I was able to customize this layout. Basically, I bought my gauges already, picked out the locations and the sizes that I wanted, sent him the measurements. He was able to coordinate this piece getting cut. This is actually the back side, so you're looking at it in a weird shape, but it'll go like this. So I get my primary gauges, some auxiliaries, and right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to test this because I've already got the gauges. So I will take this. I'm not going to bend it into shape just yet, and I'll show you why. But I'm going to make sure all the gauges fit in the holes and everything is as it should be. These are the gauges I'm using for the Ramcharger. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name, but these are the brand. I've got a bunch of auxiliaries. My trans temp, as I mentioned, I'm real keen on making sure I don't go over the 180. Fuel gauge, your basics, water, volt, oil pressure, and then of course speedometer with an odometer built in and an RPM gauge. So let's throw this in and see how it looks. And just like that, they're all in. These fit beautifully. Perfect. They're not too big, so they slide right in. They're snug enough to where you can easily manipulate them. They're not like pushed in. But when they have that backing plate on there, these won't move at all. I actually reached out to all of you to figure out what gauge placement made the most sense. I was kind of conflicted on having a lot of this swapped, but I do like how this came out. This was voted the the most ideal, I should say, and I like it, so I'm rolling with it. Thank you all for the help. All right, now that we know this all fits, let me show you where the magic happens. Right here for $9.99. This is a walnut vinyl. I'm just going to completely cover the whole insert before bending. That way it's nice and easy. And hopefully we can get a decent wood grain dash look out of this. If not, only 10 bucks. Worth a shot. Honestly, it's not that bad. It looks really good. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the heat gun to it so that this can really kind of marry the sheet metal, and plus it'll work out any bubbles that might be in here. Gonna have to get it a little bit too hot. Now, I'm just going to set this on here for now because there's still a few things I want to do regarding the wiring for some inside stuff. This is not difficult to install. If you've ever done it before, just going to line the posts. These ones are now aligned-ish. Bam. You know, you'd secure them down, it would kind of suck in a little bit. There it goes. That's what I wanted. That looks pretty good. Now time for the best part. There's out of the way. Like I said, I'm just setting this in there now because I'm going to be doing some extra stuff, but look how gorgeous this dash turned out. If I can get it in. Look at that. This is my phone holder. I don't know if I mentioned that or not. Basically, I've got one of those attachments that sticks out so I can have my phone right here for navigation. And yeah. Now just wait till the steering wheel is on. I'll throw that on here for a sec just so we can see the full picture. I absolutely love how this looks. If you like this dash insert, you want to do something similar on your build, the dash, all the gauges, the wrap, everything included in that cost me less than 300 bucks. So I got those gauges at AutoZone, typical brand, you can find them everywhere. That insert, that's like, I think 60 bucks or so. Remember, that link is down in the description. So if you want to look at grabbing one of those, or even the thicker aluminum one, because mine is steel, he's got that on his website as well. So take a look at Corey's DW gauges. Dash Werks. Yeah, 300 bucks or less, a little bit less than that. It's like 280 something. That's what I've got in this dash. Looks like it's a brand new rig. So I'm real happy with it. If you want to see how I wired that, I purposely held that from this video because that can get kind of boring if you're not specifically interested in it. The next video I'm going to push out on this truck, I'm going to go over how I wired it. How I wired the 4-pin ECU to make it super simple but still connect into the stock harness from the firewall back, as well as how I wired in all those new gauges. So that'll be coming up next. If you want to see that, please hit that like and subscribe button. That way when it posts, you'll get notified. Till next time, thanks for watching.